Which inventor would be most confused at how their invention is being used nowadays? Story 1. Sir John Harrington. You're supposed to sit on it the other way and put your reading material on the little shelf. Why do you think I designed toilet rooms with a laundry hole? It's a shelf for your chocolate milk and comic books. Story 2. The inventors of handcuffs, whips, and restraining equipment, upset that they're now used by cops, jockeys, and the mentally unstable. Story 3. The guy who invented Listerine. It was created as a brand of floor cleaner, and now we use it to clean our teeth. The F? Or Lysol. Originally created as a douche. Now we use it to clean our floor. Or lye. Originally used for soap making is now also used to make pretzels crispy. Lye wasn't really invented per se, it's a pretty basic chemical compound. Also, soap was originally made with potash or potassium hydroxide, not sodium hydroxide. Lye. Honestly, I'm just as here for people pointing out how wrong other people are as I am here for the interesting invention facts. This is gonna be a good thread. Story 4. Wright brothers. Pretty sure they didn't intend the airplane to carry a nuclear bomb that could wipe out a nation. Apparently Orville was still alive when the bomb was dropped and someone interviewed him about it. Shortly before his death in 1948 and 3 years after American B-29 superfortresses dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Orville Wright was asked by interview Leland D. case if he and his brother ever thought their invention would be used for bombing. The smile under Orville's gray mustache disappeared. Yes, we thought it might have military use, but in reverse, said the 76-year-old inventor whose brother had died at age 45 in 1912. Because the men who start wars aren't the ones who do the fighting. We hoped that the possibility of dropping bombs on capital cities would deter them. Case noted that the same idealism persuaded dynamite inventor Alfred Nobel that his explosive creation would make war so catastrophic that men would turn away from it. The day when two army corps will be able to destroy each other in a second, all civilized nations will recoil in horror and disband their armies, Nobel said. We talked and we thought that way too, Orville said. We dared to hope we had invented something that would bring lasting peace to the earth, but we were wrong. We underestimated man's capacity to hate and to corrupt good means for an evil end. Holy crap. That is both fascinating and profoundly sad. Can you imagine having invented something that you thought could help bring more peace to the world and dying just a few years after it had been used to kill hundreds of thousands? Story 5. The woman who invented bras lived long enough to see the bra-burning protests of the late 20th century. Edit. Apparently, bra burning is a bit of a cultural myth or reactionary propaganda. Thank you to the commenters who enlightened me. I hate to fall for myths and especially to spread them. See this comment for more info. Which was probably an especially weird turn of events because bras had a very feminist origin designed to allow women with support to work comfortably alongside or in place of men. Story 6. Mr. Hitachi is probably rolling over in his grave because of the way people everywhere misuse his greatest invention, the magic wand. Same for the salad mixer guy. Laugh my friggin' butt off, poor dip. Haha, salad mixer go brrrr. My girlfriend the other night, my neck is so tight I might actually use my wand for its intended purpose. What else does she use it for, a paperweight? These are precision instruments, in this case meant for therapeutic use only. Oh, I'm sure she uses it in a therapeutic way. She's treating her hysteria, obviously. I have a Hitachi external hard drive, and I feel dirty every time I say it. Gotta say, they have a very broad range of products. Hard drives, construction machines, escalators, muscle massagers. Story 7. The fellow who invented the chainsaw. Originally, it was invented to cut through women's pelvic bones in order to assist with very difficult deliveries. Oh, and the chain was hand-cranked. You want the C-section or the seesaw? Oh, a seesaw sounds like fun. Let's do that. This feels like it can't possibly be true. Which is why I think it must be true. I really need to look up more on this because I have no doubt it will either be hilarious or terrifying. Story 8. Maybe the guy who invented heroin for Bayer in Germany. When they began selling it, they advertised it as a non-addictive substitute drug for opium and thought they had erased most of the problems that came with other common opioids at the time. Would be pretty surprising to him seeing homeless guys in today's times injecting it at creepy train stations. Did they do literally zero testing before they began selling it? Yeah, they didn't want to get addicted. It's big brain time. Story 9. The inventor of the circular biscuit tin. Don't think he planned for grandmas to use it so much for sewing that it surprises you to find biscuits in the first place. At least people aren't using it for intercourse. This was a constant source of disappointment when I was a kid. Oh wow, someone left out a tub of butter cookies. I can eat away the sadness. No, wait, it's just mom sewing stuff. I can poke myself with the needles, though. That helps a little. It's funny because growing up, that was my reaction. No, where's the cookies? Now it's a default, there's the kit to patch hem my pants. Apparently, I grew up to be a grandma. Oh, I definitely grew up to be a grandma, 24-year-old male. I get offended when people don't eat my food, eat while it's hot or finish their food. I could spend my whole weekend in the kitchen. And my friends ask me to sew crap. I actually use those tins for a bunch of things. I have a bunch of them because those butter cookies are some of my favorite cookies, and those tins are dang useful. Story 10. The original inventor of Coca-Cola, as it was originally medicine prescribed by doctors, and now you can buy it anywhere and people drink it for fun. Same goes for the inventor of biscuits, as they were medicine too. I like to think he would be mad we don't still put cocaine in it. I'm mad about it. Story 11. The guy who invented the escalator was so upset after seeing it used that he cried and wanted them removed. He was upset people would get on and stand still when they were supposed to keep walking. He made the world a bit more lazy than he intended. It's amazing how much architecture has to be designed around human laziness. Apparently, there's a rule of thumb that limits the length of a straight hallway/wing of a mall because if you don't add turns or curves to disguise the distance, people won't feel like walking that far and they'll just leave. That's one of those little factoids where I didn't know that, but I'm not at all surprised. Used to call a mall near my old town the Hallway Mall. The whole thing was just one giant hallway. The guy who sold the patent on insulin for $1 so he could help mankind. He would fall over dead to see giant corporations charging diabetics thousands of dollars a month for his invention just to keep themselves from dying. So sad how large companies bank off of other people's kindness. Sure would be nice if we allowed for more completion. I was listening to a radio show about it, and apparently insulin is controlled by basically 3 companies, and legally the government could break up the monopoly to allow for more competition and lower prices, but there's a lot of money and greed is horrible. Those 3 companies give a ton of money to both parties' campaigns to protect their monopoly. So many ills in our country cannot be addressed until Citizens United is overturned. I feel so bad for diabetics who have to deal with insulin prices. Heaven forbid we as a society try to help each other out in this big crazy world without profit being at the forefront. Well, that got a little too serious. Quick, next story, be more amusing. Please like and subscribe if you made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful day. Story 13. The folks who developed the internet probably never expected they would be enabling global echo chambers where people surround themselves with those who have identical opinions until they begin to believe anyone who disagrees is a dangerous lunatic. And all the adult entertainment. Don't forget the adult entertainment. Chat rooms were among the first commercialized features of the internet, and Yahoo dedicated entire rooms to nothing but flirting and cyber intercourse, lol. Same with the MSN Hotmail chat rooms, there were tons of them, but then they got complaints about potential child grooming and MSN just pulled them, realizing keeping every single one moderated 24/7 wouldn't be worth the trouble. Story 14. John Harvey Kellogg discovering that cornflakes did not lead to a world free of deviant activities such as masturbation and casual intercourse, and that people preferred their cornflakes with sugar and chocolate and crap. I don't think I've ever tried cornflakes with crap in it. I'm sure there must be a subreddit for that, but I'm not looking for it. Story 15. Wasn't Viagra supposed to be a heart medication? Imagine it being your greatest achievement as a scientist. Nah, I bet he'd get a rise out of it. That's a rock-solid achievement in my book. Yeah, it took off hard, in part to the lack of any stiff competition. I do so love a bit of wiener-based wordplay. I like these so much I could erect a monument in their honor. Story 16. Whoever invented LEDs could never have imagined that we could make them so small as to replace and improve on televisions to the point of UHD. Better yet, the guy who invented the transistor. They're getting so small to the point that the electrons are starting to quantum tunnel through them. If we let the electrons tunnel, then they'll escape. Story 17. The guy who invented the lie detector. He said he was horrified on how it's used by police and it's a glorified piece of junk. I think he might have even said he made the world worse. Legally, polygraph tests are not required for criminal cases and can't be used as real evidence in a trial. A defendant can request to have a test, but it's not valid proof of innocent or guilty because it's not accurate. Story 18. Johann Wehler, inventor of the paperclip. Pretty sure he would be pretty confused that bored people sit and make chains of them for no reason. I made chainmail out of paperclips once. It was heavier than I thought it would be. How big were the paper clips? I can't imagine the larger ones providing much protection, particularly against arrows. They were the smaller ones, about 3/4 inch long. I did it mostly because I could, and not so much for protection. Story 19. Definitely the guy who made the laser. We can use this to pinpoint an exact location in surgery. We could scan objects and detect metal. Haha, my cat loves it. I have a book that is literally just the history of the 40-year patent war for the laser. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.